The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, and themikewagnershow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Once again, that's 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off of your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosinzia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosinzia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Virgo's Missing by Mia Mosinzia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartradio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music. Also on HamiltonRadio.net, Oldies FM, Diamonds Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia for great books like Missing, Ones, Wrinkles, also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific lady who was born and raised in Uruguay, a single mom of 3, to becoming the #1 international best-selling author as an entrepreneur, helping other entrepreneurs write and publish their best-selling books. We'll talk about that. And she has a unique approach to achieving success, which is out of the box. She'll talk about that. Her new book tells a story about her immigrating to the U.S. With her 10-month-old baby looking for a fresh start, reunites with her husband who left looking for work, and also carried a heavy load, which took 20 years to unravel. She's also the author of Write It Already, Start Your Cleaning Business and Make Money in a Week, How to Start a Business During the Pandemic, and her new book, Waking Up From My American Dream. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Salt Lake City, the amazingly multi-talented, born and raised in Uruguay, and the #1 best-selling author of several books, including the new one, Waking Up From My American Dream. Ladies and gentlemen, achieving the American Dream, the multi-talented Susana Perez. Susana, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Mike. Wow. I'm all excited with all this big title and description.
Well, look at you. I mean, you have some #1 bestsellers already. You got Write It Already, Start Your Clean Business and Making Money in a Week, and especially in these times. Also, How to Start a Business During the Pandemic, which has been successful for most people. You can share that. You have a new book called Waking Up From My American Dream. We'll talk about your story being born and raised in Uruguay, single mom of 3, to becoming a #1 international best-selling author. And your mission's always been to help other entrepreneurs, being an entrepreneur yourself. You also have a way of achieving success. And of course, your new book tells a story about immigrating to the U.S. and looking for a fresh start, and you achieved the American dream. And before we get into all that, Susana, tell us how you first got started.
Well, how I started with my books, or how I started?
Started with you. Go on the Wayback Machine. Way back.
Well, I was born in Montevideo, Uruguay. It's a small country between Argentina and Brazil in South America. And I always wanted to come to the US, but it's a dream that you have, and if you will ever achieve it. But fast forwarding to 20 years, I was able to get a visa with my husband, and we had a 2-year-old baby, a 10-month-old baby, and we were able to come to the US. 2 years later, we actually ended up getting divorced, and I was, seeing myself with 2 kids, and, I didn't, don't have any family here, and I decided, should I stay or should I go? Should I go back to Uruguay or should I stay here? And I decided to stay because my kids need to be with their dad, number one. And number two, I still thought that, I came here for a reason. I want to continue, looking for that and fighting for my dream. 2 years later, I met my daughter's dad and we got married, but that didn't end up well. He had some issues with the law and addiction and abuse and the whole thing. You can read all that in the book. And here I was, 3 kids. I have to find a way to support these kids. So I started my cleaning business, which I kept it for 7 years. I was able to, successfully grow my business, but eventually, what I really wanted to do was something else. I remember I was cleaning a house for this client of mine, and I always saw her working from home before working from home was a thing. And I was like, what do you do? Sounds exciting, because I saw her traveling across the country, going to different conferences. And she said, I am a book writing and publishing coach, and I help people write and publish books. And I was like, what? Is that a thing? I didn't even know that existed. And I was like, wow, that sounds amazing. And she says, yeah, it is. And, and she says, I help people write and publish books. And I was thinking, people like doctors and attorneys and things like that, And then she says, no, everybody can write a book. You can even write a book. And I was like, what am I going to write about? Well, her first advice was, you need to write about what you know. You started a cleaning business and made it successful. You have employees. You should write about that. So that was my first book in 2017, how to start a cleaning business and make money within a week. And it was so exciting. I couldn't believe that my name was in the front cover, and my picture was in the back cover. I was like, what? I was able to do this. And I published 2 more books in 2020. Write it already, and then also how to start a clean business in a pandemic. But I really wanted to learn how to write a best-selling book, because I really wanted to do that. So I ended up hiring another coach. So at that point was my second writing coach that I hired, and he helped me to write my best-selling memoir. And I did that in 2021. And it wasn't until then that people started paying attention to me. Before, people were like, oh, you wrote a book. That's cool. That's cute. But, it doesn't stand out as much. Mm-hmm. But when I published my best-selling book, people wanted to hear what I had to say. People wanted to learn and wanted me to help them. And that's how I started my book writing and coaching business. And so far, I've helped more than a dozen entrepreneurs write and publish their books. I only do nonfiction, so they're either memoirs or how-to books.
Okay. And what was your inspiration for helping other entrepreneurs? How'd you first come that to mind?
So I love entrepreneurs. This is I don't know, they're my people. I love what they do, what they represent. If somebody's going to change the world, Mike, honestly, is going to be an entrepreneur, because they want solutions. They want to help others and their community and not just themselves and their families, but they want to make a change. So if somebody's going to change the world, it's going to be an entrepreneur. And I want to help them, because I was an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur myself. So I know, they have a message. They want to make a difference. They want to make a change. And I want to help them get there, because by having published a best-selling book, they give them a different, that's the problem with being bilingual. Sometimes you run out of words.
Well, actually, it can be trilingual as well, too. Like if you're really talking to people instead of Zoom and everything, I had a thing where someone said, yeah, everybody's bilingual. Speak English and you speak on the phone.
That's awesome.
And in case you're trilingual, you can also get away with that too. So,
and I can text, so that makes it 4? No, just kidding.
That'd be like quadlingual. It's like I think we'll come up with it later. Maybe we can write a book about that too. So it's like, yes, everybody is bilingual or something like that, or trilingual. I get a little tongue tied, and we're gonna have a little coffee as well too.
So what I was trying to say, Mike, is that with a best-selling book, you're able to stand out from the crowd, from your competition. You're not just let's say you're a chiropractor. Well, now you're a published author and a best-selling author. So when people write the book, they're like, wow, I like this guy. He knows what he's talking about. I'm going to go ahead and call him. I have further questions or whatnot. Okay.
And then, of course, entrepreneurship is being highly encouraged here in the U.S. How about entrepreneurship in Uruguay? How much is that going out with an entrepreneurship, and how much of it is encouraged over in your country?
So when I moved into the U.S. when I was 21. So I was rather young, but I still had a small printing company from home. I was printing business cards, wedding invites, different things. But it's more difficult over there, because they require much more than here.
How so? Like with papers, documents?
Yes, papers, documents, fees. It's much more expensive to start a business, like fully. Here you can buy the licenses online. You can register with the Department of Commerce, and you can do it yourself. Over there, it's more difficult. You need to hire an attorney, and or somebody that can do all the legal stuff for you and pay all the fees. So it's a little difficult. But I'm not saying that it can't be done. It can possibly be done. There's businesses there too. I'm just saying that at that time when I was there, maybe it was not as feasible.
Mm-hmm. You also said you had a printing business back in Uruguay as well, too. And what are some other businesses that you also ventured in?
So I had a printing business. Then I also had a store, I was selling like a clothing store, more like a thrift store. That's what I had there too. Here I had a marketing business, but I wasn't really honing to it, like marketing more for the Hispanic community. It was more what I was doing, but I ended up, switching gears and just going into the books, because I love books. I like printing, design, and also the message. Sharing the message is important to me. When I was growing up, I told my mom that I wanted to be a reporter and work for the CNN. It didn't happen. But I'm on your show, so maybe, it did happen in a way.
Well, my ass opinion, this is better than CNN. I got to say that.
There you go.
and of course, and many of us love books as well, too. We love to read, we love to write, we love to print and everything else. And what are some of your favorite authors and writers growing up?
When your mind goes blank, okay, this is one of those moments. So I don't read much fiction, but I always like Sidney Sheldon and all his stories. And I remember that I wrote as many books as I could find of him in Spanish. And then I found one in English, and I wasn't speaking much English. And I was like, I need to read this stupid book because I love this author. So I read the book with a dictionary. So here I was with the dictionary, and here I was reading the book. It took me forever, but I read the book. And then I like nonfiction because I think, I like to learn. It's always, it's always catching my eye, learning about publishing, learning about marketing, learning about self-improvement, you name it. There's, there's always something to learn.
I also thought about cookbooks as well, too. I don't know if you do cookbooks or anything, but I had a guest on the show a while back that he learned English by learning from a cookbook, that sort of thing.
Wow, that's awesome.
Ways. Yes, it's like, cookbooks, watching movies, or, listening to something on the radio. That's how people learn English. But for a cookbook, I think that is very unique. At least you can,
you have to find something that you like. If he likes to cook, he will figure out a way and he will make it happen, Okay. Otherwise, if you don't have interest, it won't happen. But I'm glad that he found something that he likes. And yeah, I haven't published cookbooks, but it's something I can explore if somebody's interested.
Well, you got a person right here. We'll talk about your mother books as well, too. Right already on more. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today at Virgo's Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms. Heard in over 100 countries. Also on hamiltonradio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific lady who's the author of Write It Already, Start Your Cleaning Business and Make Money in a Week, How to Start a Business During the Pandemic, and the new book, Waking Up from My American Dream, Susana Perez here on the Mike Wagner Show. And let's talk about some of your other books as well, too, like you had Write It Already, Start Your Cleaning Business and Make Money in a Week, and How to Start Business During the Pandemic. And tell us about some of the books. And I think you touched on a couple, and maybe you can talk more about that. What inspired you to start a cleaning business, make money in a week? And first of all, let's say I start a cleaning business. How do you make money in a week?
Well, first of all, I will say buy my book. It's on Amazon. But you will get, of course, your supplies, and you will make a flyer, and you will present, your services. Let's say you want to do residential. So you will list the rooms that you'll clean. You will list what you do. For example, if you do windows, if you will do floors, you will do inside the fridge, inside the oven, different things that people want to know. And then you can start price. You can put your prices, or you can put starting as slow as whatever price per hour or per job. And you can go on social media and post that on, Facebook groups, for example. You can go and send a text to your friends and family via, just take a picture and send it to them. And you can also go door to door and drop off these flyers.
Okay. And
No.
also now, do you also, you mentioned about charging by the hour as well too. Do you also charge by the square footage, like say clean a living room, family room, bedroom, and all that? Do you guys charge by square footage, or you just charge by a certain rate and how big the living room is, or like say simple, complex, or anything like that? In other words, it's like, you know, how big the room is, or if it's like really clean, or it's like really messy, like somebody dump a garbage truck into your living room.
Well, I haven't done it for a while. Like I said, I sold the business in 2017. But for example, if it's a move out cleaning, somebody moves out of the home and they have to turn in the keys, we will charge by the square footage of the home. And then, of course, we have a list of everything that will be done. And then when it comes to a home where people live in there, I would rather go and look at the house, because not all houses are alike. And the size of the house is important, but it's also important to know how many people live there, and if they have pets, cats, dogs, kind of the age of the children, because little kids have some habits like fingerprints all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Teenagers leave things laying around, you know. So you just have to...
we've all been through that.
So there's different things that we look into it, and we see the condition of the home. When was the last time that it was deep cleaned? If it was deep cleaned a year ago, it's not the same thing as 2 months ago. So yeah, and for that I will rate, for example, the first clean is usually takes longer and it's going to be more expensive, and then regular cleanings are going to be cheaper. As long as you maintain, you know, every 2 weeks or whatnot, or every month. Instead of calling me every 6 months, then we're going to go back to the first price.
Okay. And what made your business different from the rest?
So I try to do things a little different. For example, I will leave thank you cards, thank you notes. I mean, of course, doing the job correctly, taking care of people's properties, you know, listening to what they need. For example, somebody may be really picky about their windows. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure those windows are clean. Versus somebody who don't care much about windows, but they really want to see their floors shine. So you will listen to what they need and you make note of that and you pay attention every time you go. But then, for example, if you see a picture that says, okay, June 11th, wedding anniversary, you put it in your own calendar, and then on that week you leave a little note saying happy anniversary.
Nice. You
know, there's a little thing, because you're invited into people's homes, so you're going to learn more about things. Sometimes, you know, one time my clients lost their pet. That was really sad for them, and I just brought them some flowers and I left the flowers to them.
Nice.
Or somebody had a birthday and he didn't have any family in the state because he was transferred from another state. So I left him, you know, flowers and some chocolates and, you know, a birthday thingy. So treating them, you know, as part of the family, they love that. And they will remember you, and they will refer you, and they will recommend you to everybody.
That's certainly amazing and very unique about it. I mean, I would have called you right away if you're going to do that too. So, you know, a little chocolates or whatever it is. And what was the most interesting project that you ever had when it came to cleaning?
So there was this family that they have, I don't know, 4 or 5 kids, something like that. And when we got there, it looks like a bomb exploded and everything was a disaster.
It's like what you see on CNN, a lot of the war stories.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, okay, I was like, this family needs us. We're here to help. So I have 2 girls with me, and it took us like 8 hours, but we cleaned the whole thing. 3 people, 8 hours.
Wow.
And then we have to go every other week, I'm sorry. But then it got to the point where this is the thing. When I asked a person how long was the last time it was cleaned, I think it was like 3 months ago. And then I was like, okay, I understand. But if 2 weeks later, we go back and things are back to the way they were before, I'm like, wow, you may need more help than what you need us more often, because, you know, and she couldn't afford it. And I understand that's you know, totally understandable. But it got to the point that we were having a hard time going to the house, because it was just an uphill battle. And I had to ended up telling her that we want to recommend somebody else for the job. So
right, like a construction company or something like that, bomb squad or anything like that. So I often think of that too. It's like
burn the house down and then build it again.
Or like those disaster services too, like a fire, flood, or like 50 million cats just wreck the whole house, everything like that. I mean, most places as well too. We got that. So, and of course,
I'm not a miracle worker. I have to tell sometimes I'm a housekeeper. I cannot do miracles. We'll do our best, but
snapping fingers isn't our thing. I got to say that too. But you managed to sell your business. You also went into another book called How to Start a Business During the Pandemic, and tell us more about that book and what inspired you to write that book, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah, of course. During the pandemic, it's actually when I started the business, I was like, the world's going to end. I may as well do what I want to do now. So I started my business and I decided this is what's going to do. Publish books and help people write and publish the books. And I decided to write 2 more books. So the number one was how to start a business during the pandemic. And I explore different businesses that people could start that it didn't require the closeness or see people, every day or be in the same room or anything like that. So I just figured that, people were going to be exploring options since many people got, laid off and lost their jobs. So that was one of the books. And the other book was Write It Already and How to Overcome Procrastination and Write Your Book, because many writers, we deal with procrastination. We think, I have an idea about this book, and they take note.
All right, I'll do it tomorrow.
And then they're like, okay, I'm going to sit down and do it. And then it took forever to do the actual outline. And then it takes forever to actually do the writing. And then we start editing before we even finish writing the book. And then it becomes a cycle. And then that's why people say, I've been writing a book for 10 years.
Right. When you mention about right away, like your way of avoiding procrastination or getting right to it, what's your recommendation to avoid or to confront the procrastination?
Well, I will say kind of think of your whys. Why are you wanting to write a book? Okay. So if this is why you want to write a book, just make a note, paper, put it on your, on your wall or something by your computer, something that you see every day. And then I will say divide the work in chunks. Let's say 20 minutes. I'm going to sit 20 minutes and I'm going to write. I'm going to take a 5 or 10 minute break. I'm going to go outside. I'm getting up on my chair and I'm coming back for 20 more minutes. That will be something that works for some people. I had a client that she put herself the goal that she was going to be 8-10 in the morning. She's going to be up at 8 in the morning, and by 8:10 she's going to be sitting in front of her computer, even if she didn't know what to write, even if she didn't want to write. So that's what she did. She just made the first step, sat in front of her computer, and then started writing. And that's how she was able to. She didn't publish a book, but she was able to write a she had a blog, so she was able to publish an article every time she sat down in front of the computer. So
okay, you also mentioned about helping entrepreneurs with their best-selling books and everything else. And what are some of the best-selling books that they've written about subject-wise, like about besides writing, publishing, marketing, all that? What are some of the subjects that they've written about?
So, for example, I have different entrepreneurs. For example, I have a nurse that he has 17 years of experience in his field, and he wrote about suicide prevention. And he teaches like mindfulness and different techniques for people who are struggling with depression. So that book is about how to overcome, depression. So suicidal thoughts. That's what I was trying to say. How to overcome suicidal thoughts and get the life that they always wanted. There's, for example, I have another client that she's a yoga teacher, and she wrote about yoga and about how important it is and the benefits. So she wrote it. I told them to write in a level of, for somebody who never practiced yoga, this is the first time she, is going to read a book about yoga. And some aspects were directed to people that have already some knowledge about yoga. I have another client that she does energy healing. So she writes about everything that is in relation to what she does, and, chakras and energy healing and angel messages and different things. And then I have another one that is also a yoga teacher, but she focuses on pregnancy and preparation for birth. So she writes a book on how yoga can help your body, how to get prepared for pregnancy and the birth of the baby.
Mm-hmm. And what's the approach that you recommend to clients to achieve success?
I'm so sorry. Can you?
What's the approach that you recommend to help clients achieve their success?
How my clients achieve success?
Yes.
I think number one is clarity. They have to be clear in their goal, what they try to achieve. When they want to write a book, they have to be clear. Who is this book for? Because even though it's a memoir, in the case of a memoir, the book is not about you. It's about the reader. What is the reader going to get from the book? What is he going to do at the time that he puts the book down? And the idea is that they're going to get, of course, new knowledge and ideas and solutions for the problems, but also they're going to want to talk to you, and they want to the author. They want to be able to reach the author for more, for example, the nurse that teaches mindfulness and different therapies, or the yoga teacher, that she does classes or Zoom classes or more books or different things.
Okay. It sounds like it's a rather unique out of the box approach, unlike most others. So that's one of the things you always take.
Well, I tell them that the book is a marketing tool. So the book is going to be working for them 24/7. And, Amazon is the biggest library in the world. So he's going to be working for them. And they're going to get, I have a client, for example, that she wrote a book about business processes, how to, if you have a small business, all the processes behind it, all the payroll and taxes and training and all of these things that you have to have as a small business owner, but people get overwhelmed. So by the time they put the book down, they're going to be like, I'm going to schedule a consultation with this person because she knows how to set things up for small businesses. So, that way they know you, they like you, they respect you, and they know that you have the knowledge. Because if you wrote a book in the subject, you are an expert. And if you have a best-selling book, you are the expert on the topic.
Mm-hmm. And certainly very interesting as well, too. Where can we find all your books at?
So my books are under my name, Susana Perez, on Amazon. My clients' books are under their names because they are self-published authors. So what they do is they hire me to get the book put together, to get it published, to get it launched, and to become a bestseller, but it's under their name. But if you follow me on social media, I have Instagram or Facebook, you can see the books that I'm always, working with.
Okay. That sounds very amazing. And going from how-to author to best-selling author, we'll talk about her book, Waking Up From My American Dream, Susana Perez. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Wilson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author Susana Perez of Waking Up From My American Dream after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by SonicWeb Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with Susana Perez, the author of Waking Up From My American Dream here on The Mike Wagner Show. We talked about Write It Already, Start Your Cleaning Business, How to Start Business During the Pandemic. And let's talk about your book, Waking Up From My American Dream, being born, raised in Uruguay, single mom of 3. And let's hear about your journey going from Uruguay over to the U.S., achieving the American dream.
Thank you so much, Mike. So when I sat down to write this book, I thought, I'm going to write a book about coming to America and what got me here. And that's what I had in mind at first. But when I started writing, I felt like the book needed to focus on something else. So I do talk about immigration and my immigration path and the process, and the pathway to citizenship and all that. But the core of the book is about generational abuse. That's what he mentioned there, that is the baggage that I was bringing with me, that it took me 20 years to unravel, because I didn't know how much it affected me. The abuse that was coming from my grandma to my mom, from my mom to me, and probably happened to them before, way back. But I didn't want that abuse to go to my children. I wanted to be the end of it. So I had to do the work to recognize it, to find forgiveness and understanding for what my mom went through and what my grandma probably went through. I couldn't really talk to her, interview her about the book because she was gone by that time. But I was able to interview my mom and understand what was going on. So it wasn't easy. When I actually sat down to write my book, I was in shock, because I was like, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the coming to America part and all the pretty things and the challenges, and of course the reaching the American dream. But then this other ugly thing was poking at his head, and I was like, I need to address this. So I didn't want to get up from bed for like 2 weeks, because I was like, I hate this. I don't want to talk about this. It made me physically ill. But I was like, okay, I need to do this. So I called my insurance and I was like, I need a counselor, find me somebody patients in my area. And I got there to her office and I sat down on her couch and she's like, so what brought you in today? You know how they are. And I was like, well, I'm writing this stupid book and now I have to finish it because I already paid the guy. I already paid my coach, so I just have to do it. So we started talking and it took us, let's say about 6 months.
Wow.
To process things that it can be, 6 months can be a long time or can be a little time compared to, depends who you ask. But I was able to go through the process and understand it. And so the book tells you all the different challenges that I face. I was a victim of abuse, neglect, and child sexual abuse when I was growing up. And then I had to, go, deal with that and forgive and heal myself. And of course, I don't know, you're not in Utah. So one of the biggest reasons to come to Utah is because I was a member of the LDS Church, or the Mormons, how they call it. I decided to leave that religion after 20 years, but that wasn't an easy experience as well, because, after you're part of something for such a long time, it's a difficult decision to leave, but also a difficult decision to stay if you don't agree with how things are around you. So That's what I talk about also in my book. And of course, I talk about the overcoming my challenges, and I talk about forgiveness and hope and happiness at the end, because life continues and you have to find peace and move on with your choices and with the cards that you've been dealt with.
You also mentioned something too about your husband going to the United States to look for work, and maybe tell us about that. And what kind of work was he looking for?
So when he first came, he spoke very little English like me. So we took the very first job that he took was a produce company. So they were packing, vegetables and fruits and loading the truck, and then the trucks going to the stores.
Okay.
He was doing that.
Okay.
Eventually he was able to, get another different job and then go to school and get his degree. But we ended up getting divorced. So that's his life.
Right. What was his trade at the time, or what was he wanting to do as a trade?
He's a computer guy, so he wanted to do IT.
Okay.
That's what he ended up doing.
Okay. I was going to say, I bet she's trying to take down the number for Sonic Web Studios, if you want to give them to him or not. So we also had that too. And also in your book as well too, that, after, your husband, you guys divorced, and, he went to work and everything else. And then the next chapter as well too, you also talked about, some of the other ventures as well too. And how long it take for you to realize your American dream? Like, say, coming in, your husband's looking for work, you get divorced, and then it's like, tell us about the time, like, you were on your own, you had your 3 kids and everything else, and then you went on to helping others start their own business. You became number 1. And how long did that take? Going from, say, your husband leaving you,
that took about
bestseller. How long did it take about?
I wish I could say it took a little time, but it took like 15 years.
Wow.
Because I was a single mom of 3, so I had to do what I need to do to support my kids. So I was working, 7 years cleaning houses and running a cleaning business. And after that, I became a life insurance agent, and I worked with insurance for 4 years. But you have to do, when you have kids in the house, you have to do what you have to do to make sure to, support your family. But then as the kids grew older, I have 2 out of the house because they're adults now. I was able to venture a little bit more and thinking, you know what, this is what I really want to do. This is, and I want to go all for it. And that's what I did.
What was that one light bulb moment that somebody said to you, this is what I'm going to do?
That was, I think, 2020, because the pandemic happened, and, everybody was up in arms because we didn't know. It was something different, something challenging. And I was like, well, if the world is going to end, I got to do what I need to do. I got to do what I want to do. So I may as well live my dreams and try. And at least I tried, even if I fell,
And what do you want readers to get from your book?
So from my memoir, what I want to get people to get is I want them to think that their dreams are valid, and that it doesn't matter what happened to them before. I mean, it does matter because that's, it happened, but don't let that define who you are, because we can choose to be angry and to be resentful and to be just angry with the world and with God and with the universe and with life. But we can choose to heal and choose to forgive and choose to move on and to say, you know what, I'm still alive. I still have the chance to achieve my dreams. I don't care how old you are. You still have the chance to do it.
And I think that's very important as well, too, and very inspiring, Susana. And where can we find your book, Waking from My American Dream at?
It's on Amazon. You can either get the Kindle version, the audiobook, or the paperback.
Okay, we will certainly do so. We're here with author Susana Perez of Waking Up From My American Dream and some other books on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more minutes, Susana. What else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond?
2022 and beyond. Well, what I try to do, of course, keep helping entrepreneurs write and publish their books, but I want to be able to do retreats for writers. Sometimes we need to make our times ourselves to actually, step out from the house and from the office and just take time for ourselves to actually decide to start the book. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do writers retreats so people can take a weekend off and start their books.
I like that idea. We'll certainly let everybody know about that. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I would say my mom and my grandma, because even though they faced a lot of challenges in their lives, they were women that they did what they had to do for their families.
Okay.
So they're example of resilience.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay. That's amazing. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice that I could give, I would say put yourself first, because we cannot take care of anybody else if we don't take care of our needs. And it's not selfish to take care of our needs.
And that's very important as well, too. Self-care is the best. We're here with author Susana Perez of Waking Up From My American Dream here on the Mike Wagner Show. Susana, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your books?
So if you go to Amazon, it's Susana Perez. Just put my name, SUSANAPEREZ. And there's it's going to show all my books. susanaperez.us on Facebook, or also Instagram, and the website is www.susanaperez.us as well.
We certainly check those out. Once again, Susana, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best, and you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mohsen-Zia of Missing. And powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms. And of course on themikewagnershow.com, hamiltonradio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at themikewagnershow.com. Thanks for listening.